Yo, what up YouTube? Today I'm gonna be reacting to some scary animated stories that are apparently true. I watched 5 of them and I suggest you stick around to the end because I think the last 2 are probably the best. And if you're feeling so generous, you can hit that subscribe button, that like button, drop a little comment, let me know how you felt about them. Make sure you hit that post notifications bell so you never miss an upload. I'm gonna be posting every other day now instead of just posting on Fridays every week. Alright, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Enjoy the video. But alright, let's just get into this shit, alright? Let's not waste no time. Get right into this.
My friend was throwing a Halloween party with her sorority, and she'd invited me and a couple of other guys. It was a low-key event. Only a couple dozen people would be there, but I preferred that type of scene, so I was excited about it. Oh,
Alright, so they're about to get lit type shit. This sounds normal as fuck, alright?
I was running about an hour late, but I was sure nobody would be there
This
until
motherfucker was late and he was throwing the party?
at least an hour after it started, so I wasn't too worried. My costume was lazy, just the first thing I saw at Party City, a firefighter with a bloody axe. I called an Uber around 7 and let everyone know I was on my way. My driver pulled up in a trash Kia, missing its front bumper and windows tinted nearly pitch black. He rolled down his window and called my name. The guy was wearing sunglasses, even though it was completely dark out,
Fucking loser. Don't ever wear sunglasses at night.
and he had a nasty rash on his face. He had oily, matted hair that clung to his sweaty face.
Alright, now how do you have that much description on what somebody looked like? Like, who thinks of that? Hold up.
He had oily, matted hair that clung to his sweaty face.
Are you fucking serious? This guy's that descriptive?
I hesitated a bit before getting in the car, but decided I was being too judgmental and got in. The ride was quiet at first, but then he asked me about my costume. I was on the way to a Halloween party and had to get something last minute. He laughed this awkward, squeaky laugh and told me he'd never been to a party. He went into this monologue about how he never said more than a few words throughout high school, and that people wouldn't even look at him.
Oh, so this kid's the fucking loser. This is the motherfucker that everyone thought was gonna, you know. You already know. I'm not gonna finish my sentence, but you know where I was going with that one.
He started to get mad just remembering it and hit the steering wheel, then his forehead, while in the middle of his story.
Alright, yeah, that's that shit that, like, get out the fuck. Like, why would you even get in the car with this idiot? Like, now you're fucked.
He was barely paying attention to the road, and I was sure we were going to crash. I told him it was all right and begged him to keep his eyes on the road. He managed to chill out after a bit and apologized. As we pulled up, he didn't unlock my door for a while and just stared at the house. He muttered something about missing out on life and finally unlocked my door. After I got out, he stayed parked in front of the house until I walked into the living room. The party was mellow. I started drinking immediately to get in a better mood after that guy ruined my spirits.
Yo, I agree with that shit. I would start drinking immediately. How do you sit through something like that? You sit through a fucking car ride with this fucking loser talks about he missed out in life. I was quiet in high school. Like, shut the fuck up. How do you, like, what do you even say? Oh shit. My fault. Like, alright.
A few drinks in and I was starting to have fun again. The girls who invited me were singing karaoke on the TV, and my friend was jamming out on the guitar.
Oh, his
Couple
friend
of
is
games
tough.
of beer pong later, and I had all but forgotten that miserable Uber ride. That was when, around 10, I noticed someone new sitting in the living room. It was a tall, stocky man in a hoodie and a mask of Jason from Friday the 13th. I wondered who had invited him, seeing as everyone was accounted for. The guy sat in complete silence in the corner of the living room while the party went on around him. Eventually, I asked Rachel, my friend hosting the party, who he was. She looked at me, confused, and said that the guy told everyone he was invited by me. At that point, I was past confused and started to get crazy.
Yeah, bro, this is when you get your boys together. This is when you get your boys together. You all go press them, bro. The fuck is you doing here? Who invited you? What are you doing? You know, like, don't just stand there and fucking, like, come on now. Go get your boys and handle this shit.
Doubt. I walked up to where he was sitting and quietly watched the party go on around him. He didn't pay attention to me, even though I was standing over him. I went to tap him on the shoulder to get his attention, and he grabbed my arm before I could touch him and squeezed. I yelped and tugged my arm back.
That's when you fucking, he's got your arm like this, is when you go BOOM! Let's hear this guy's reaction real quick. What did he do?
He grabbed my arm before I could touch him and squeezed. I yelped and tugged my arm back. He let go and went back to staring at the party.
You gotta sock that guy, bro. Like, are you kidding me? He's an unknown person. Nobody invited his bitch ass. He grabs your arm and squeezes it. You're just gonna pull it away? You're just gonna be like, no. Like, nah. Stick your fist in his fucking, in his eyelid, bro. Come on. Get him before he gets you.
I yelled at him, asking what his problem was, but he stayed completely quiet. Everyone stopped partying and was watching us. I told him to
What's your problem? Bro, kick him in his chest. He's sitting down on the couch. Kick him in his fucking chest.
tell me who he was or get out. And he stood up, almost a head taller than me. I wasn't exactly short, but this guy was huge. There was a machete attached to his waist, which I was
That's when you grab his balls.
praying was a prop for his costume. Everyone stopped partying and was watching us. The whole party was dead silent. The guy walked to the middle of the room, put his head in his hands, and started sobbing. Some of his hair spilled out of his hood. It was familiar, black, oily, just like the Uber drivers. We all backed up, while his sobbing turned into screaming. The man grabbed the machete from his waist and pointed it at me. His voice was hard.
I told you, bro. I told you. You should have punched him or fucking kicked him or some shit, bro. Because now he's up. He's taller than you, and he's got his machete pointed at you, bro. Like, you should have just thought of that. Now you're fucked. Good luck. Everybody's just watching you, too. He just said the whole party stopped partying, and they was just watching. Everybody's just watching you. They about to watch you get fucking sliced, gang.
To make out through the mask. But he said something about how it wasn't supposed to be like this. He took the machete,
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
threw it at the TV, shattered
Okay, he threw his machete at the TV.
the screen, before running out of the house and down the street.
This wasn't how it was supposed to be. And then he threw his shit at the TV. Is this real? I mean, if anyone's actually acting like that, you're cringy as fuck. This guy thinks it's a movie.
Nobody chased him.
How is it supposed
We
to
all
be?
just stood there in stunned silence. I was pumped full of adrenaline after genuinely thinking I was about to die. The first person to break the silence was Rachel, asking if she should call the cops, but there wasn't much of a point. We all left right after that, but I didn't call an Uber. I'm not sure if that guy was my driver, but I can't think of any other good explanation. He was seriously crazy, and I'm just glad nobody got hurt.
Bro, like, this is, like, honestly, this shit sounds fake to me. I'm not even gonna lie.
But I know things could have gone much worse. So since then, I've gotten a lot more cautious about whose car I get in.
Yeah, you fucking should've.
I use PayPal to buy this
Oh,
ticket.
Will Ferrell.
Paying-
Alright, well, that was story number 1. Let's go into the next one. Okay? Here we go.
Even though we were way too old to be trick-or-treating, my friend Jason sent our group chat a text asking if we all wanted to get together in costume and hit up a few houses for free candy.
Alright, I need to know how old these motherfuckers are, bro.
We hadn't heard from Jason in a few days, so it was a bit of a surprise. We all agreed that it could be fun, and planned to meet in one of the neighborhoods known to have the best candy, even though it was a bit remote. I was feeling lazy with my costume, so I dressed up in a black sheet and mask to go as the Scream guy.
Oh,
When we met up,
that
most
shit
of my
toughy or
friends had
what?
similar ideas, with a Barack Obama and a Joker. The odd one out was Jason. Well, with a Barack Obama and
This motherfucker went as Barack Obama for Halloween? I wasn't expecting that.
Joker. The odd one out was Jason. Well, I assumed it was Jason, because he was the only one whose face I couldn't make out. Jason was wearing nothing but a black bodysuit covering everything, including his face and some torn up clothes covered in fake blood. The fact that the costume was so bad made it the most unnerving costume of any of us. We got going around the block. There
Bro,
was only-
they didn't even check to see if it was their boy. Like, that's actually... What, did they not speak to him at all? If this turns out to not be their friend Jason, what are you doing? How are you linking up with someone that doesn't say a word and you don't notice that it's not them? There's no way that this is not their friend. But I feel like that's where it's going right now.
a dozen or so houses on the entire street. so we took our time to talk and mess around. There were a few weird looks from the people answering the doors, but they still gave us candy before we left.
A few weird looks.
One house had a big basket
they're
filled
old
with
as shit.
oversized candy bars. I took 2, but the rest of my friends emptied the entire thing except for Jason. Jason actually hadn't said a word the entire time.
Yeah, bro, like, how you, like, what? Like, just think about that. Their friend Jason hasn't said a word the entire time. So when you guys linked up, did he not walk up, say what's good? Like, do you not dap each other up? Like, what's going on here? I don't understand how... If this is actually not their friend, they're all fucking stupid as fuck for that. Like, how did... What? How do you not say anything when you...
Eventually, we ran out of houses on that block and had to decide what was next. Kyle, the guy dressed as the Joker, suggested we find another block and get even more candy. I was kind of done with trick-or-treating by then. It did feel childish, especially after seeing how everyone reacted to us being there. Jason finally spoke up for the first time that night.
There we
His voice
go.
was muffled, so it was a bit hard to understand it. His voice was also deeper than usual.
All right, bro. Like, this is why you say what's good. When you all link up, how is he not singing a word? And you guys are all fine with that? Like, what? I'd be like, yo. Like, there's no way they've been hanging out with this dude all night trick-or-treating, and he hasn't said a word, and they haven't, like, they're not friends then. They're not friends then. How are you not talking to... Shit makes no sense. Like, this is another fake one. It's gotta be, bro. This should make no sense.
But I figured that was also the costume.
If one of my friends didn't show up and somebody tried to impersonate that spot, we would find out in 5 seconds, bro. These guys are morons.
He took out his bag and told us that he'd stolen alcohol from his parents and said we should go drink at the park.
Oh,
It wasn't
yeah,
big on
Jason.
drink, but I figured it was a special occasion, so I might as well let loose.
So
for a bit.
special.
As we came to an agreement, Jason said he knew.
Yo, look how happy he looked. Yo, the whole time they had him in the background looking all like scary and shit. Look how happy he is when he pulled out the alcohol, bro. Holy shit. That'll get him to talk more.
Drink and eat our candy and that he'd lead us there. I was the only one getting a weird vibe, but after everyone else agreed to it, I gave in and decided to follow Jason. We ended up on a trail that started at the end of the block. It was dark, and the only light came from our phones. We walked for around 20 minutes before finally making it to a spot in the canyon off trail. It was
This story is weird as shit.
an opening under a canopy of bushes. The place was filled with trash and old beer bottles.
What's up, Defiant? How you
There
doing?
was also a sleeping bag and some broken glass pipes in the dirt. I asked Jason if this was really the place he was thinking of, and he nodded, pointing to the view of the sky through the canopy. It was really nice, I had to admit. The stars were in full view, and the moon was bright enough that I could see everything. We started drinking the stolen vodka. Jason just sat back and watched us through the black face covering while we got more and more drunk.
Alright, bro. Like, Jason stole the liquor and he's not even drinking it. Like, I don't even understand at this point. So many red flags to let you know that that's not your boy Jason, bro.
And Drew were wobbling around like idiots, and I was starting to feel it too. We were making way too much, considering that there were houses just outside of the canyon. As it got later, I knew it was time to head out, but I was starting to feel really out of it, way more than I should have with how much I had drank. The world started to get hazy, and I looked over to find Kyle and Drew both passed out.
Did he poison them or some shit? Or bro, he slipped a little something in there. That's crazy. I mean, that's what they get for being dumbasses, bro. Hanging out with not Jason all night, bro.
Jason stood up for the first time and stood over me. I mumbled, asking him what he was doing, and he knelt down over me, inches from my face. I wanted to struggle, but my body wasn't listening. Jason reached out to touch my face, but as he brushed my skin, 3 flashlights shone on the trail and down into our area. Jason, well, by then I was doubting it was Jason at all, got up and ran off.
Yeah, that's when you fucking like, you should have been doubting from the jump when he walked up to you guys and didn't say a fucking word. This guy's such a... I can't. It's just really pissing me off.
Just as 3 people hopped down into our camp. I passed out as the officer approached me. The next day, we found out that Jason had lost his phone 3 days before. meaning he wasn't the one sending those texts, and he wasn't the one with us that night. Whoever that guy was, he'd spiked our drinks and had something planned for us once we were unconscious.
At least the cops somehow fucking found. Like, how did the cops even know?
I hope he just wanted to rob us, but I think it might have been something worse. That was the last year I went trick-or-treating. The fun was completely gone, and I couldn't get the feeling of that guy pretending to be Jason touching me out of my head. We never talked
Bro,
much
and that's
about
just like, that's just all their fault. I just don't understand how they didn't know that that wasn't their friend.
it, and the police never found out who the guy was. I hope he gets caught eventually, and that I never run into him for the rest of my life.
He's not getting caught, gang. He's not.
I used PayPal to buy this ticket.
Will Ferrell
Paid
again.
awful.
All right, number 3 incoming. Hopefully this
Halloween
one makes a
storms
little more
always
sense.
carry extra intensity, as if they somehow match the mood of that day in the year.
No, really?
I remember how powerful the thunder was, the windows rattling and the lights flickering. Even modern conveniences yield to nature, I guess. That night, however, had
Ew,
more
bruh, is this the fucking monster? Holy shit.
to do with the supernatural than anything else. I still get goosebumps when I think about it. My parents were at a party the year this happened, so I decided to have 3 friends over while they were gone.
Alright, so they
Liam,
chilling.
Sophie, and Josh. We didn't feel like
Yo.
going trick-or-treating that night.
Liam and Josh look
trick-or-treating that night.
Alright, bro, like, why are all the animated characters so fucking disgusting looking, bro?
So we ended up in the basement playing a dusty old board game.
Josh got a
It's
rack.
kind of funny how we found ourselves playing it despite my uncle's warning. My uncle joked to me once saying, "Never touch that board or you'll be cursed." But there we were, disregarding his advice. I thought my uncle was just pulling my leg, so I figured we were safe to play it. We sat around a folding table, lit a few candles because the power was malfunctioning, and put the little pointer at the center of the board.
Alright, wait. I feel like his uncle? I feel like his uncle definitely was joking. Because, first of all, if you know, like, I mean, I don't know about cursed. I really don't believe that. But if you know something is cursed, fucking burn that shit. Like, why would you just leave it in the crib and then just tell people not to touch it? Let's get back into it.
The game was new to all of us. Liam was brave enough to get us started.
Oh, yeah,
Is
Liam.
anyone there? He spoke dramatically, as if to imply that the task of questioning the board was frightening. The pointer scraped slowly to Y, then E, then S. We laughed out loud. Sophie quipped playfully, "Nice try, Josh." We assumed he was the one who moved the pointer. It seemed as though silly questions rolled right off our tongues. Will I fail math? Will Sophie marry a rock star? The responses from the pointer on the board made us crack up even harder. I almost forgot the storm outside by this point.
Low key, if you're playing a Ouija board, how the fuck are you gonna know that whoever you're playing with that shit isn't the one moving it, bro? Like, I feel like it would just be somebody moving it. There's no way that shit is actually, like, real and works.
The water dripping from the basement ceiling into a rusty pan below didn't even faze me. Then, something strange happened. Without anyone asking, the pointer shifted again, this time on its own. It went from B to U, spelling BEHINDYOU. Behind you. Our laughter was cut short. How did that... Josh turned quickly when the pointer landed, expecting something or someone to be there. All we saw was the furnace looming in the shadows. I couldn't believe it.
Like, what? Buy a board and stream it? Oh, fuck. No, I'm not fucking with that shit. I'm good. Good off that. These fucking idiots about to all die.
I knew I saw the pointer move to those words, but there wasn't any logical explanation for it. Okay, which one of you? I started. Before I could finish, though, we all heard a heavy thunk rattle through the pipes overhead.
Oh, no.
Nobody moved a muscle. We all
Sprite.
made eye contact, and then Liam suggested, "Wind." It wasn't convincing, his voice cracking from the uncertainty in his belief. Old house, right? Then another noise. This time it was lighter. like a shoe scuffling the concrete.
Wait, that actually just creeped me the fuck out. His voice or the audio like switched up.
What was that? Sophie was the next to speak. But basements don't have wind. She said it intensely but quietly, as if to get her attention without disturbing someone in the next room. I grabbed the flashlight cautiously, its beam shaky, and surveyed the room. Boxes, shelves, and the furnace. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's just...
Yo, the audio is like really making me feel like somebody's in here with me about to kill me, bro. I don't like the audio, like what these motherfuckers sound like.
Pack it up, Josh suggested. Wait, I said. I had to know how. One more question. I placed my fingers on the pointer, and then I asked the board, "Who are you?" It moved instantly, without hesitation. This can't be good. S-T-A-Y. Stay. Suddenly, the candle flames bent sideways, as if someone had breathed on them to put them out. A chilling draft cut through the room, goosebumps forming on my arms. "We're done," Sophie snapped, standing up as she tried to grab the board. But before she could, we noticed something in the corner of the room.
Oh, hell nah, bro. There's just no way. If this is real, this one's actually scary. It says true. The title says true. I would be shitting my pants. First of all, I would have never played this shit, but I would be like...
Stir. It appeared darker, like it was just another space in the room. Only this was pitch black. But then that darkness shifted,
Oh, what the fuck?
lifting, stretching, and a shape began to take form. It was taller than any of us, and its head scraped the low beams. The others didn't get a clear look at it, but I did. The outline. It had a face, pale and featureless, like chalk. I felt my chest drop.
Bro, the audio keeps fucking switching and like, holy shit. This is actually a good one, bro. Tell your boy to get out of your room. Alright, bro, don't do that to me, bro. I'm actually like, this one's actually... Oh, was my closet open before?
Then the flashlight flickered out. No. I should have listened to my uncle. I thought. Whatever it was alone with us in the dark. I heard a whisper. It was Liam, petrified, saying run. We bolted to the stairs. Heavy steps striking.
Is that shit gonna
concrete
start
behind
chasing
us.
him, bro?
I knew the figure was gaining on us, but I couldn't force it.
Yo.
Josh shoved Sophie up the stairs ahead of him, and I was the last one to make it to ground level. I slammed the basement door. At first, I was surprised by silence. Then the knob twisted. I immediately grabbed it tightly before the door could fully open, as my heart pounded like it would break free from its cage. The figure we saw yanked the door harder than human hands should. Just when I thought the door would give way.
I couldn't even imagine being in this situation. If this dead ass happened, I couldn't even imagine. Imagine being... There's 4 of you, right? There's 4 of you. And you're being chased by this figure. And you're the last one, bro. I feel like I'd be sweet, bro. Oh my god. Holy shit. I would like... If I was the first one, right? Running away from it, it'd be chill. But the last one... I'd be like imagining that thing fucking zooming up.
It was silence. I didn't hesitate any longer. I signaled to Sophie to grab the phone in the kitchen. She dialed 911 frantically, informing the operator of what we had just witnessed. My friends huddled in fear as I kept a hand on the doorknob at all times.
If I was the cop that got that call, I'd be so angry. Because I wouldn't believe them. What the fuck?
I use PayPal to buy this.
Fucking
ticket.
Will Ferrell,
Paying
bro.
off
What's
over
wrong with
time.
you? We're
And I get
mid-story.
5% cash back. No fees, no...
Minutes later, a police officer arrived, and as if on cue, the power miraculously came back on. We felt dread as the police officer stepped down into the basement, the place from which we had narrowly escaped. He flicked on the light and began rummaging through boxes and shelves, peering at the furnace. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. No one was there, at least not anymore. There were no other footprints either. The dusty floor hadn't picked up a trace of other footsteps except for our scramble to the door. The police officer concluded the premises were clear of any other presence, his tone condescending. He looked at us as if he didn't believe our account, but didn't have the
I wouldn't
audacity
either.
to call us liars. After the police officer established we were safe, we dragged the game out to the trash, recovering our wits as best as we could. We didn't say much. It wasn't long before their parents arrived to pick them up. I had to wait in that house alone. My parents still
Oh,
out.
bro, I would have
And
never.
by this time, the storm had died. The candles.
This guy, after he just went through all that shit, everybody dipped and he had to sit in that crib alone. Oh, shit. I would literally never do that.
burned out, and the basement door was still closed. That night was hard to sleep. Whatever I saw might still be there. I didn't tell my parents yet, but I decided the next morning I would prove to myself it was nothing. As the sunrise illuminated the valley,
What does this dickhead mean, prove to himself that it was nothing? No way he's gonna, like, do that shit. I guess we'll see.
I looked for the game in the trash. The only problem was, it wasn't there. I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked and looked. I finally found it, back on the table, in the basement, with the pointer in the center. How did it... Before I could answer that thought, I saw a single word spelled out on the board. I still get the shivers. All it spelt was S-T-A-Y.
First two stories were ass. That last story could be fake, but that shit actually scared me. I felt like something was gonna jump on me, bro, the whole time.
Last Halloween, my best friend Lucas and I went trick-or-treating with our mutual friend Michael. We were in Michael's neighborhood because his family was rich and lived in a wealthy
Yo, look at the Hulk. You see him? The fat Hulk.
neighborhood with big fancy houses. It was awesome for about half an hour, as every single house was giving out king-size pieces of candy. But then a huge storm rolled in and cut the night short. We ran back to Michael's house to take shelter. Michael's parents weren't home, and they weren't coming back soon either, because that storm was crazy. The wind was howling, and the windows were being battered by heavy rain. There was a flash of lightning and a loud boom of thunder
This dude ain't Batman, bro.
every few seconds.
Look how scared he looked. You think Batman would be scared? Some fucking lightning?
It was nice for a while. About 20 minutes into the movie, Michael got up and paused the projector. He said he changed his mind about it because it wasn't scary. Then he went to grab something better.
Like, no way this dude want to be a fucking vampire for Halloween. That shit pisses me off. Would be a fucking vampire.
He came back with a Ouija board, bragging about how
Oh.
it was a centuries-old family
Another goddamn Ouija board story, bro.
heirloom and not just a Hasbro game. Lucas and I didn't believe him, of course.
How's that a
even though
family
the board
heirloom?
Did look old. It looked like it was cut against the grain from a single log, as the rings of the tree were all visible. According to Michael, the planchette was carved from the same tree, and the lens was made of crystal, not just glass. We were interested in messing with it, so we sat down on the floor of the theater, underneath the projector screen. The lights were at their dimmest level, and the storm could still be heard thrashing the walls of the house.
Bro, I could see how this shit would be fun, but I feel like I wouldn't, bro. I don't really believe it works, but at the same time, I don't want to fuck around and find out.
It seemed like the perfect environment to communicate with ghosts, being sealed off from the outside world. The three of us each put our hands on the planchette, and Michael was the first to ask if there were any spirits with us. Then, the planchette began to move.
Planchette?
It was
That's
so
what it's
slow
called?
it was almost unnoticeable. The lens traveled to the top left corner of the board. To yes. We all giggled, each of us assuming somebody was moving it on purpose.
Look at all them
Next,
fucking giggling,
Michael
bro.
asked the spirit to prove they were real in some way. The planchette moved again, much faster than the first time, down to the number 3. Michael laughed, mocking the spirit, saying that it was true there were 3 of us, but that didn't prove anything. Then, the planchette slid to the number 2, held there for a moment, then slid to the number 1. A second later, the projector suddenly started playing the movie again. We all
Alright.
jumped and took our hands off the
Alright.
board.
Nah, that's actually crazy. Whoever the fuck that demon is clever as shit. That was fire. Bro, this is some movie shit. He ain't even doing this like in a movie or nothing. This is just out of the demon's own entertainment. That is fire. Good stuff to that guy.
I accused Michael of secretly using the remote, but he pointed to where he had been sitting and the remote was on the armrest. All three of us were freaked out, but Michael looked the most scared. He kept mumbling that something was in his house while we stared at the projector screen, dumbfounded that the movie was playing on its own. As we watched, a shadow slowly began to appear.
Yo, it's The Mask. What the fuck? They were watching The Mask. Do you guys know what this movie is? The Jim Carrey movie? That's funny.
Projection, emerging from the bottom and rising.
Oh, hell nah.
Looming over us.
Ew.
It was the shape of a head, as if someone was standing in front of the projector. We all turned around at the same time and looked up to the top of the theater, but nobody was there.
Oh, God.
Suddenly, Michael lost it. He marched up to the projector and ripped out the power cord. Then he came back down, took the Ouija board and the planchette, then stormed out of the theater. Lucas and I followed him to the front door where he walked out in the pouring rain. We watched from the shelter of the porch as he threw the board in the garbage bin by the curb.
Let me guess, it's gonna end up back in the crib.
He came back soaking wet, blowing past us into the house. We didn't follow him as he went to his bedroom to change, cursing up a storm in a mix of anger and fear. Lucas and I retreated to the game room, where I absent-mindedly racked up the billiard balls to distract ourselves with a game. We never ended up
How the fuck do you start playing pool after some shit like that just happened? I'd be out of his crib, bro. I'd walk home.
taking any shots. Michael returned from his room and joined us a minute later or so, starting to calm down. We were all deeply concerned, but we didn't know what to say. In the silence between us, we all noticed something at the same time.
Ugh.
The game room is where the only entrance to the theater was, and the door was wide open. There was noise coming from inside, and we all recognized it. The movie was playing again.
Oh, shit.
We slowly made our way into the darkness of the theater, walking down the small hall beside the seats. At the end of the path, we turned the corner, and there, sitting in the first seat in front of us, was an old woman in a nightgown.
What the fuck? How's it an old... Bro, the demon was an old woman? Holy shit. First of all, actually, real quick, I just want to make a note. This kid is fucking rich, bro. You got a movie theater, got the pool table room. No wonder your shit's haunted, bro.
She was drenched, with water still dripping from her hair as she turned her head and looked at us.
Oh my god, wait. Nah, wait.
Smiled
Hold up.
with
That low-key actually got me. And now I feel like a bitch. I wasn't expecting her to just whip her head around like that. Damn, I'm a pussy
Water
for
still
that.
dripping from her hair as she turned her head and looked at us, smiling with an ancient, sagging face. We all ran out of the theater screaming. Michael shut the door and barricaded it with the foosball table. Around the house together and turned on every single light. Then Michael's parents got home. We told them there was someone in the theater. They went to investigate, but nobody was there anymore.
Yo.
However,
Oh, the
the seat
seat's
she was
wet.
sitting in was still damp.
Oh.
There wasn't enough proof for Michael's parents, and they scolded him for throwing out the Ouija board. But when his dad went out to get it from the garbage, it was gone. He went looking for it and found it back in the game closet where it belonged. Michael's parents thought we were messing with them, but we know we saw something that night. We don't tell people about it because we don't want to sound crazy. But since then, Michael says he hasn't stepped foot in the theater.
Bro, I wouldn't
He
either.
believes it's now haunted by the spirit of his great
That nasty ass shit.
the original owner of the Ouija board.
Oh,
And the person we
bro,
saw in the
like,
theater.
cut that shit out. I think it got me twice, bro. Alright, wait, so his why would his great-great-grandmother do that shit to them, bro? That shit is fucked up. I mean, she low-key funny as fuck for that, but...
The original owner of the Ouija board.
So
And
she
the person
owned...
we saw in the theater that night.
She owned the Ouija board and was talking to them. But then he threw it out, so she was fucking mad. So I had to scare him. That shit is fake as fuck. That has to be the fakest story of the day. I can't, like, I can't believe any of these. I don't know. That was low-key good one, though.
My name is August.
Alright, wait. We'll do one more, and then I'm gonna hop on Minecraft. We ready? He said his name was August. Augie Pullman. Oh, bro. I skipped 10 seconds, and it's back on this bitch's face.
In my first year of college, I hit a huge stroke of luck when a girl I just met invited me to a Halloween party at her house that night. I didn't know many people at the time, so I randomly forced myself to talk to her one day, and it worked. Her name was Emily.
Yo, that's W Mans right there. He just went for it, and it worked out. Good shit, dog. Good shit, August. That's what I'm talking about.
She lived in a house with 3 other girls that was a short walk from my dorm. I didn't have a costume, so after studying, I rode my bike down the road and bought a Bigfoot suit. I got home and changed.
Bro, this dude's about to be Bigfoot. Oh my god. I wonder if he actually... I wonder what that suit looked like, bro.
Then I started walking to Emily's house.
And he walked there alone as Bigfoot.
I didn't want to ride my bike there because I was worried about the fake fur of the costume getting caught in the chain. Plus, I was a little worried about it getting stolen. On the way there,
Valid.
I saw a ton of people out on the street. A lot of them were wearing costumes, too. My peripheral vision was blocked by the mask, but I heard a few people point me out to their friends and laugh. I didn't mind. I actually kind of liked it. I must have looked quite funny sauntering through the streets alone like a real-life Bigfoot. I had a mask on, so nobody knew who I was. It made me feel a little more confident. About halfway there, I was approached by a man who was much older than your average college student, and he appeared to be homeless. He had a tattered brown jacket on, and a large backpack stuffed to its breaking point. I expected him to ask for money, but then he introduced himself as Jason. I told him my name just to be nice. But that opened up a conversation I really didn't want. He wanted to know where I was going. I was vague about it and said that I was just going to a party. But the guy kept pressing me for information about my night, like where the party was at and if there were going to be girls there.
Fucking walk away. Like, you don't gotta tell him your life story, gang. Just walk away. Some random ass dude.
I gave him no information, hoping to end the conversation as quickly as possible.
Good stuff.
I eventually just got fed up and tried walking past him, but he grabbed my shoulder.
Oh, hell nah.
Saying we should just go together as friends.
That's when you turn around
I
and you
told
throw
him
the
to leave me
fucking
alone
left
at that
hook.
point. Then I walked off quickly. I didn't want some dirty hobo at my first college.
Oh, he called him a hobo. That's crazy.
By the time
Haven't heard that one in a minute.
I arrived at Emily's house, I had gotten sick of marinating in the moisture of my own breath.
Ugh. Why do you have to describe it like that? Fucking Bigfoot breath.
So I ditched the mask.
Like, he's just marinating in this.
One of Emily's roommates answered the door. They let me in after I said Emily invited me. The party was still coming together, so only a few other people.
I mean, that guy just, like, definitely followed him. Like, just 100%. That guy followed him to the party, and he's about to start touching people.
People were there. I felt a little awkward. I didn't know any of these people besides a 10-minute conversation with Emily. Thankfully, everyone was really nice, and after a little while, I felt very welcome. I talked with Emily mostly, which was nice. At some point, she asked if I invited
Do you think Emily was bad? Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't.
anyone else. I didn't want to reveal that I had no friends, so I just said I invited a friend but they couldn't make it. Then I changed the subject. Later on, more people arrived.
Oh,
and the
yeah,
party
that
kicked
party's
off for
fucking
real.
jumping,
It
bro.
wasn't a big party by general college standards.
Bro, look at why did this animator made everyone put their hands in the air and just be like, look at his face. They could have, like, you could have made him look happy or some shit.
It felt massive to me. I got tipsy to cope with how overwhelming
Yo, fucking doofy.
it all felt, joining in with everyone else. Everyone was in a costume, making
Or goofy.
it feel even more surreal. I floated around for a while, trying to make new friends. It was going well. But while I was talking to someone, I saw something over their shoulder that freaked me out. There was a person walking by in a
Ugh.
full Jason Voorhees
Oh, yo, wait, didn't the homeless guy said his name was Jason?
costume. The name of the hobo I talked to instantly popped into my head. Jason. I lost track of the conversation, thinking it couldn't actually be him, until the person I was talking to got my attention again. I apologized for zoning out, and I forgot about it as we kept talking.
How do you fucking forget about that shit?
A while later, I was talking with Emily again. She mentioned that my friend had actually just made it to the party. I was confused, so I asked her to explain. She said she heard from the roommate that opened the door for me that they let someone in who gave them my name. I panicked.
Oh, okay. Oh, hell nah. Yeah, that dickhead just blew it for this guy. He's out here making friends, and then the homeless man comes in here and just fucks his shit up. Just fucks it up because he's a weirdo. I feel bad now.
I looked around the entire house, but I couldn't find him. Just as I started to calm down, a girl screamed from one of the bedrooms. Everyone stopped their conversations. The music paused, and a crowd of people descended upon the door. But it was locked. Nobody could get through. A man was also shouting inside aggressively, leading us to assume the worst.
Yo, like, what the fuck? I wonder how he got her in there. You think he rizzed up and they was about to go fuck? Or if he just took her in there. That shit's low-key unfortunate. Damn, alright.
Suddenly, the biggest guy at the party kicked in the door. Everyone was ready to swarm and subdue an assaulter. But there was a pause when we saw the reality. There was costume pieces all over the floor, and a woman was covering herself with sheets on the bed as a stark naked man stood with his back to her. He faced the person in the Jason Voorhees costume who was threatening them with a large knife. The next moment was a blur of bodies.
Oh, I see. So two people were about to go in the room and have sex, and Jason ruined that shit. What a fucking L-man's cock-blocking piece of shit. That's actually crazy. Everyone should have fucking... Bro, somebody go put his ass in a headlock. That's fucked up.
Several men rushed in and tackled the attacker.
Oh, good
subduing
stuff.
and disarming him.
Yo, so the people in this story actually sound fucking normal now. Everybody, like, all this just sounds normal now. The last stories, bro, people are fucking oblivious. But in this story, they actually took action. That's what I like to hear. Good fucking stuff.
The mask was ripped off, and I saw the face of the man I talked to on the street, Jason. The worst part is what he screamed as he was held down.
You told me I could kill him, August! You told me I could kill him, August!
That's what he kept saying directly to me before the cops came. My world burned before my eyes. All the people...
Yo, I would have kicked him in his face. Like, he's sitting there like that. I'd be like, shut the oh my god, bro. His head would be a soccer ball. You told me to kill him, August! Like, oh, hell no. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, dog. Damn. That shit's crazy. Aura.
I became friends
Ah,
with.
this dude's a pussy. I wouldn't just let him scream that shit. Look, everybody tight at him. Hold up.
My world burned before my eyes. All the people I became friends with now looked at me like a snake. A monster. After using my name to get in, Jason snuck into one of the girls' closets. That girl ended up taking a guy into her bedroom to sleep with him, only for Jason to attack them. If he had surprised her while she was alone, who knows what might have happened. He must have followed me to the house.
Oh, he must have followed me. Like, obviously he fucking followed you.
Then got into costume to live out his twisted murder fantasy. He went to jail. But unfortunately, despite proof that I had nothing to do with Jason's actions, none of the people at the party ever trusted me enough after that night to accept me being around them.
Damn, that's unfortunate as fuck. That fucking dickhead ruined that kid's, like, ruined his shit. Actually, I called that shit. From the second he showed up, I said he's gonna ruin his shit. I was right. Now he's got no friends. And he just got there and made friends. I feel bad for my boy August, bro. That's actually unfortunate as shit.